Good morning. Rise and shine. When he says, come on, that's when I end it. Well, everybody, I like to start off by thanking you all for your support and your comments and your sharing videos and all of that good stuff. I really appreciate it. And the thumbnail, Sammy the Bull Gravano and the rap business. And I've been kind of animated about, the rat, the biggest rat, the biggest rat, the biggest rat, the biggest rat. Yeah. And, I try to look at things also on my channel when giving commentary and thoughts and narratives about look at all the different perspectives on things, okay? I used to go to Attica prison to visit people. And you see the wife, the family, the children, the brother, the sister, the mother. And people in the prison they're there because they got ratted on. And so there's a common feeling of you always got to worry. They got to worry about being ratted on. And now Sammy the Bull Gravano, very high profile, and I haven't said a lot of nice words, but I'm just not a complete basher, but he is the most worldwide recognizable rat, and I used to I knew some people in there, and I would visit, and the couple of guys I knew, they would talk about whoever and say, yeah, when they get out, and then but when I then in their dialogue or whatever, because you don't hear about that personal, intimate stuff, and they're like, yeah, me or him, I'm ratting my ass off. I'm gonna rat my ass off. Because they have the omerta and all that, and don't cooperate, don't rat. But then at the end of the day, it's me or you, and survival of the fittest. And then some of them, whatever, but it gets really convoluted. It just gets really. And then they say, well, he cooperated. So is cooperating just a softer term for just saying he's a rat? I mean, you can cooperate with just general information just to get somebody off your ass, FBI, whatever. But that is still like taboo. That's just taboo. Some feel there's just zero contact, there's no reason. But when it's your own ass on the line, and you got a wife and 3 kids, and you think a lot differently. There's a lot of different reasons for ratting. Some are dramatic, some are subtle, some are just self-preservation, of course. That's just the common denominator. Self-preservation, number one, and then whatever else that's attributed to those details of those cases. But, did you get your coffee? Come on. It's early over here. So, I talked a lot of shit about Sammy the Bull. And I was visiting a guy in Attica. His they put the year on the uniform or whatever, the number, there's a number on their shirt, and then you could see the year, and some of them had 1960. And in New York, a lot of them gangsters, when they go away for life, they go to Attica prison. So Attica prison was filled with a lot of people that got narked on, that got ratted on. And you see it from that perspective. And you see the fallout and the families and everything else. And then well, the motivation, of course, is they don't want to be in there with their wife and kids visiting them. So, Mr. FBI official, let me put you on speed dial here because whatever. But I had a friendship with a female FBI agent she was bebopping around and everything, and she would come to the office where the bookmaking operation was. That was also a steel brokerage, and then she'd bebop around, and it's in the book. They dead missed. Slick move, man. That's a low move. That's a low move, but I can't unwrap all that. Just a cool video here. I'm not gonna do it. But I get more into details than that, and I'm not gonna go there now. Oh, you were talking to an FBI agent? I was a nobody. But then again, these FBI agents, they might be lying, or they might be telling the truth when they say, well, so and so's got they by law they're supposed to say, through surveillance or taping or recordings, if somebody's going to get hit or whacked, they got to notify the person. So if you're in jeopardy, they got to blow their case and say, and a guy in the office was on parole, and the guy from the steel business, who was a bookie, he let him do his work release parole shit in the office. He was no good. He was a no good, whatever, if you watch the other videos. And that brought the agents into the office, and I was doing nothing but, trying to sell steel, and they were there for him, and he wasn't showing up. And then I met the FBI agents, and then there was two, man and a woman, and then there was one, and she would come back to the office looking for this other guy, and I got to know her, but she didn't get. There's no information I could tell her that they didn't already know. But things got hairy and everything, and it gets really complicated. So read the book. They Dead Missed. It's on Amazon. If not, who cares? So I look at Sammy the Bull Gravano and like all the the rats and things like that. And I knew another guy that was in there. Well, he was from Niagara Falls. He was part of some of them guys, and I didn't like to ask a lot of questions because people came and went, and I'm not up there all the time. So I learned real quick not to ask any questions, because then you look like a FBI rat cooperator. I don't need to know why, just for common talk. Oh, geez, what happened to Tom and Bob and Rick? You don't need that. For what? For just coffee talk? Hey, this is coffee talk. So that wasn't good. But I actually thought a guy got hit, but he went to prison. Because you don't want any details. What are you going to do? Ask them details about hits? So then what? They got to get rid of you. But Sammy the Bull Gravano, I mean, um, he's sitting there. He did other stints of the Cosa Nostra. I would lean toward that loyalty and allegiance. Okay, but excuse me, coffee. But the flip side of that is, you know, if you don't rat, sooner or later someone's ratting on you. That's just, you know, throw the loyalty and the oath, throw it in the garbage. That's what these guys are thinking. Sooner or later, and they already did 6 years with their children visiting them and their mother visiting them, their 60-year-old mother coming in there. How does that feel? They're going back to their cells. They're in their cells every day thinking, they have to be contemplating. Well, you know what? I should have said something about so-and-so. He got whacked anyways. You'd have been fine. Half the time they're gonna get killed anyways. They're gonna cooperate. I'm not saying all of them are, but push comes to shove. So I could sit here and say, yeah, rats are no good and everything else. But then again, let's not lose sight that, you can understand why you can understand the reasons why some people rat and cooperate. Mike Francis, well, he wasn't a rat. Well, did he cooperate? I mean, is he better than Sammy the Bull Gravano? I mean, when all these viewers of Mike Francis, well, they got the 2 biggest YouTube channels for mafia shit, but it's so Sammy the Bull. I mean, I always have mixed emotions about these guys, and because psychologically speaking, human behavior, and you can try to figure out what were they thinking, what were they going through, why did they do this. It's not just that, oh, he's a rat, he cooperated, he did this, he did that. I've seen the families walking out of the visiting rooms at Attica prison crying. They were maybe their mother or wife was thinking, he should have ratted. What do they care about that loyalty and all that bullshit? They're driving from New York City to Attica to visit these people. You got to put this stuff into perspective. It's just not what you see right there on the screen, Mike Francis, Sammy the Bull. You got to put what I try to do on my channel, the humanistic side of this stuff. Because I'm for uplifting, spiritual uplifting. So I try to look at this stuff and figure it out, and I'm quick to say Sammy the Bull's no good and everything else, and I understand all that. But, what would be the difference of his mother or wife visiting him, or my mother or wife? Or, what would be the difference? It's so easy as millennial viewers and subscribers that come on here that don't know shit about none of that life, and it's just raw entertainment. Yeah, you folks want the raw entertainment. You don't want, the humanistic side doesn't mean nothing. So, rah, 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 Sammy the Bull, the biggest rat ever. And, Mike Francis, he's full of shit, rah, 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 rah. Well, it's a lot different than that. It's a lot different. And I knew guys that went to prison. They went to prison. And then they got transferred wherever they go, because a lot of times the people go to federal prisons for different types of rackets and federal crimes. So like Pennsylvania, the state of Pennsylvania, and then on the East Coast, like I can't remember, like Virginia or North Carolina, wherever these federal prisons were. My cousin was in one. Atlanta, I think Atlanta was the federal prison. And federal prison is a lot different. I mean, some say it's, well, federal prison's more lenient. Some were like country clubs back then. But so I try to tell the viewers, or just try to maybe elaborate on, because I bash Sammy the Bull and everything else, and I feel sorry for somebody's family that has to visit these people, because you viewers and see this Cosa Nostra, they took the oath, they were made, and the family comes first, and you don't narc and you don't lie. Yeah, a lot of people were the definition of a made man, and they did it to they either, whether they died in jail or died in the street or died, however they did it to the letter in that life, and a lot of them didn't, and they cooperated. I mean, we only have one life to live. And me personally, I would just think my freedom and life is more important than some fraternity. Forgive me. Forgive me for you rah, 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 gangster, my life's more important. And if I got an idea that I never did nothing crucial in that life. I never did. I'm just saying, for example. But if I got second thoughts about Bill or Rick or Tom or Bob, shit, I don't know. Not trying to give somebody life or anything like that. But so when you're rocking and rolling, and everybody has incriminating information, so people know the intimate details of your crimes. So, and you know the intimate details of their crimes. So you're buddy running around having dinner and coffee, and you're having picnics with the families. But when push comes to shove, I want to stay with my family. Sorry, your family's going to have to visit you in prison for the next 12 years or life. But you see Sammy the Bull Gravano, Mike Francis. Well, they cooperated. They're 75 years old or whatever, how old, and they're free. They're free men. They cooperated. Mike Francis might try to feed you a little different story, but Sammy the Bull is just so publicized. There's no dodging that. Not even that liar can fabricate, not even him, because it's just public knowledge. He's got writers and everything else. They just, yeah. So I look at it in a different way, because I've observed it. I've observed it, the emotional aspect of that, from visiting the people in Attica, seeing their families. And then you go back and you see the rat, drinking champagne, eating lobster, and it's like, what a compare and contrast that is. And then they're both your buddies. They're both your buddies. So this mentality and thinking was going on. You can't dodge it. That's human nature. That's human psychology. They have crews that the friends are all common friends. And then all of a sudden, there's the guy that ratted on your crew member. But a lot of them were in isolation. But then later on, these guys had cayunes. They had Cayenne. Some were just Rambo renegades. Whatever happened, happened. I'm a free man. Whatever happened with the other guy, some of them guys just thought, if you can get me, get me. But if you don't, if you miss, then you got. So people just automatically thought it was just so easy to hit somebody. Oh, you know, like I said about my godfather, when they would hire out, or people were specialists in doing everything. And well, Jojo, well, aren't there enough maniacs in the crew that are hired killers? And why would they outsource for that? Because they did. They outsourced for that. Because there's more that goes into a hit. There is more than goes into a hit. There's a big chess game of information and knowledge going on. And people could be waiting. People could be anticipating. People are being safe. It's a whole big chess game. I mean, yeah, well, geez, can't they just, you know, see them going to the delicatessen and then just come up on them and blast them? There's many obstacles to that than just doing that. People, police, yeah, things happen in cold blood, like Murder Inc., but people think Al Capone and all that, Murder Inc. and all that. It's not like, I mean, there's examples of it, but it's just not like that. You know, they like to do their hits more seclusion. Well, why not? So I'm hard on Sammy the Bull Gravano, and I just feel that it's easy, you know, everybody hates a rat, cooperators, and it's easy. But I'm not like in his defense, but it's just like sooner or later, they're rounding everybody up. They're rounding everybody up because when you know they were wiretapping, and then you know, and they know, you know who else was all talking on the phone. So you know, well, if they heard this and they heard that, well, then they heard this other stuff from 3 more mutual friends. So then you just know this shit's going to hit the fan. And how are they going to react when they're being interrogated? There's 3 other guys that can send me up the river if they cooperate. Now, what are you doing when you're sitting in your cell going, and you're wondering, geez. And the FBI is always coming up there and saying, come on, you want to go talk? We heard this, we heard that. Sometimes the FBI would give them false information to scare them into paranoia to rat. Or they'd just say, here's a recording. This is what Tony said. Go into protective custody, blah, 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 everything else. Yeah, I was thinking about, because I was looking at another video, and yeah, I bash these guys, and then I try to look at things different, because I'm all over the place. I'm bipolar at times, and I just try to, you know, step aside from it. And I mean, humanistically speaking, and then, you know, I saw a lot of people visiting prison, families, children, mothers, crying in the visiting room. And then when you're waiting to get in, then when they say it's over and they're leaving and they're crying, you know, old Italian mothers. I mean, you know, they're walking out, you know, you know, old Junior should have read it. That's what, because a lot of times the people, I can't say, I better shut up. But, so a lot of people say that cooperating isn't ratting. I mean, if you're cooperating and nobody gets indicted, based on that cooperation, then maybe that was innocent. Some people just say that's just taboo. You don't rub elbows with nobody. Here's my lawyer. You got anything to say? Talk to my lawyer. Blah blah blah. So it's easy. Sammy the Bull's the most publicized rat on the universe. So he starts a YouTube channel. What a world we live in. So that's that. That is that. Let's see, Saturday, October 22. Let's just get some, I'm hungry. I need some spiritual breakfast. All right, don't run away. Maybe this might help you. It's just spiritual psychology, okay? All right. No matter what your circumstances may be, you can find joy in my peace, Jesus. On some days, joy is generously strewn along your life path, glistening in the sunlight. Some days are just glorious. Yes, everything was good. Life is good. I caught all my parlays. I hit the slot machine. I caught the trifecta at the racetrack. On days like that, being content is as simple as breathing the next breath or taking the next step. Other days are overcast and gloomy. I lost all my money. You feel the strain of the journey, which seems endless. I haven't had a winner in 3 weeks. Dull gray rocks greet your gaze and cause your feet to ache. Yeah, you're hitting every brick on the sidewalk. Yet joy is still attainable. Search for it as a hidden treasure. Begin the remembering that I have created this day. It is not a chance occurrence. Recall that I am present with you, whether you sense my presence or not. You can't ignore it. Then start talking with me about whatever is on your mind. God, Jesus, thank you for giving me this life, beautiful friends and family. And can I catch a winner? Forgive me, God. Rejoice in the fact that I understand you perfectly and I know exactly what you're experiencing. As you continue communicating with me, your mood will gradually lighten because you release these burdens. You strengthen yourself with Jesus and God, and then it releases the stress off of you. Because if you tap in to that dynamic, you will see results. It's free. Companionship can infuse joy into the greatest days. If you woke up and you got shelter and you got food, you should rejoice. You should rejoice. Okay, my dear friends? So I'm rejoicing. The sun is shining, the beautiful leaves on the trees. I got shelter. I got food in the refrigerator. Bologna and rice and beans, but it's good enough for me. No, I got food. So, embrace the day. Get a closer relationship. It's joyous. You just don't be robotic to the world. Because like I always say, the world is a vampire. So what are you going to lock into? The dark, dull, gray, or the light and the joy? I want the light and joy, and then we can laugh all along the way, and we could just have fun. Forget about money. Forget about money. Other valuable currency out there than money. Sure, it comes in handy. But, yeah, and I'm gambling and trying to get it. But now I look at it differently. I can laugh when I lose. That's all. I'm alive. At least I'm alive. And I'm able to lose my money. I'd rather be alive and able to lose my money because I was dead on the floor like a rat. So just keep me alive so I can blow my money. That's good enough with me. I'll laugh every day. All right. So be the kings and queens of your world. Don't give up. Don't get depressed. Yeah, things happen. Things don't go our way. But don't focus on that darkness. Focus on the light and the joyness. All right. Let's try to do that. I got to try to demonstrate that. So be the kings and queens. Don't give up. Don't you ever give up. God bless you. Thank you for your support. Holy cow. I thank you to the bottom of my heart. I'm getting a couple subscribers every day and things like that. So, I want to tell you the gangster stories to get you in here, but I want to give you some enlightenment and some spiritual food that maybe might help. Maybe it might help sometimes. So just give me a shot. All right. Just give me an at bat. Okay. Thank you, everybody. God bless. And I'll see you again soon. Thanks a lot, folks.